Good morning. I will call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the Executive Committee for June 22nd, 2016. I am Mayor Betsy Hodges, Chair of the committee, joined this morning by Councilmember Gordon, Council Vice President Glidden, Council President Johnson, and Councilmember Reich. We are a quorum and a full complement of the committee and can conduct the city's business. We have one item in front of us for consideration, to consider my nomination to appoint Robin Hutchinson to the position of Director of Public Works for a 2-year term, beginning January 4th, 2016, ending January 8th, 2018, for referral to the TPW Committee for a public hearing on July 12th. And I think the way I will go is I will say a few words about Robin, why I'm putting her name forward, take any questions, make the motion, and then if there's any discussion, we can go from there. I am very excited to be putting Robin's name forward. I think she is a fantastic choice among the fantastic choices that we had. She is currently the Director of Transportation for Salt Lake City. Before being selected by Mayor Becker for that position in 2012, she had 16 years as a transportation consultant in the private sector, working on projects throughout the Intermountain West and also in Europe, and so has a deep and broad experience. Our residents, knowing that our Public Works Department has a number of divisions inside of it, which is unusual. Most departments across the country divide what we put into one department, they divide into different departments, which is true in Salt Lake City. And our residents rely on all of those services: water, storm, sewers, sanitary sewers, garbage, recycling. All of it is an important part of our public works. And they were separate in Salt Lake City the way that they are in other places. What that means is that Ms. Hutchinson has constantly had to collaborate with other directors, most notably the directors of water, but also other directors, to get projects built, to get things done at the city. That collaborative and interdisciplinary experience is going to serve her really well in the city of Minneapolis, I believe. And she also understands cities and cities with complex challenges. She understands the need to build relationships, to balance competing interests. She works well with council members, business leaders, neighborhoods, advocates, city employees, the whole 9 yards. Ms. Hutchison is not looking for innovation's sake, but rather uses proven strategies, data-driven strategies, and data-driven solutions to problems to make sure that we get the best outcome possible. Really excited about that level of her experience. I will say she has earned a reputation nationally as a practical innovator who gets things done. She is a known commodity and a sought-after commodity. I feel very grateful that she is as excited to come to Minneapolis as I am excited to have her. She has been recruited by many other places, and she has the right combination of experience and vision. And I'm confident she is the right person to continue and accelerate the progress that we've made under Steve Cockey. Indeed, she appreciated our department very much, knowing that the work that has happened in the department as led by Steve Cockey for many years is one of the things, the strength of the department as it is one of the things that she appreciates and values about Minneapolis, and one of the reasons she was eager to come here. So those are some of the many reasons I'm excited to have Ms. Hutchison be the name I put forward for Public Works Director. If there are questions about her, I can take those. Otherwise, I will just make the motion and we can have some discussion if folks want. Then I will move to appoint Robin Hutchison to the appointed position of Director of Public Works for a 2-year term beginning January 4th, 2016, ending January 8th, 2018, for referral to the Transportation and Public Works Committee for a public hearing to be held July 12th, 2016. I will note that often what the process would be to refer to Transportation and Public Works. They would set the public hearing and have it 2 weeks later. The chair of Public Works is here on the committee, Councilmember Reich, thank you very much, who agrees that July 12th would be a good date for the hearing. So that motion is on the table. Council President Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to be abstaining today, and I will explain why. And I apologize to Ms. Hutchison, who called me, I think, a day before yesterday, and I just have not had time to return her call. So I look forward to speaking with her. Mr. Kronk said she's going to be in town next week, so we'll make sure that I'll make sure that we get together. But In reading her resume and thinking about what our Public Works Department entails in this city, it is, I think, going to be a real challenge to her, but I, again, don't know her, so I'll get a better sense. I've spoken to several people that were on the panel who expressed great confidence in her abilities, so I'll continue exploring that as well. But I think some of the things I'm going to put out there is she's going from 21 employees to supervising 21 employees to over 1,000. I would bet Salt Lake City, although I could be wrong, is not a union environment, and that's always can be a challenge coming in to um, an enterprise that is heavily unionized when you don't have experience in that um, area. Um, the other thing I'm really concerned about is the narrowness of her resume with regard to some of the other functions of public works, including water in particular. We're unique, again, as the mayor said, in running a municipal utility, um, but we do serve 1 million customers with clean drinking water every year, and we all know with what has gone on in Flint, Michigan, how important that is, and how there was just an article in the paper today, St. Anthony has some contaminations in their wells, and they're looking to buy some water from Minneapolis. That's probably not the last time that's going to happen. And, we're looking forward as a city where we do, or a community where we have challenges with groundwater, that we want more people to be our customers in our water department. The other things I'll mention, solid waste, recycling, the most valued city service year after year after year in customer surveys is under the Public Works purview. Fleet services, all of our fire trucks, police cars, all of our maintenance vehicles for Public Works are maintained by our employees. Radios, public safety radios are maintained by our Public Works employees. We also have a full service and unusual parking system. That's our responsibility that supports our downtown growth and also is beneficial for our general fund. So this is a huge department. It requires someone with a breadth of expertise that I'm not seeing quite yet, but I'm going to keep my mind open and meet Ms. Hutchison and continue to speak with the people that were suggested to me. Mr. McGuinness has told me to call the mayor, and I'm going to do that and just do my own due diligence about this.
Thank you very much, Council President. On a factual note, I will just note that Salt Lake City is the only unionized city in
Is it?
Utah.
Okay. Good.
And so the city
Good.
employees are unionized, including those that Ms. Hutchison
Great.
has been supervising.
Thank you.
For the last number of years. The other concerns are ones that, were questions that I think we all had. If I had used, or anybody on the selection panel had used, number of employees as a selection criteria to weed someone out early, there are a number of candidates who would not have been able to be considered, in part because of the unusual nature of our Public Works Department. Only basically state DOTs would have been the equivalent, and the only pool from which we could have drawn to have people who had that level of employee supervision experience. And I wanted to make sure we had somebody who's worked with cities and the challenges of cities and the partnerships and the stakeholder relationships that are required for that. And I think in your conversation with her, certainly those are relevant and important issues to raise, and I raised them as well and appreciate the fact that you raised them. And I'm confident she's the right person to meet those challenges, and I hope that you will be too when you talk to her. Any further discussion? Councilmember Gordon.
Well, I wasn't part of the interviewing panel, but I just wanted to thank the group that did. I know that we had 3 council members on that, and we had some staff leadership, and I really appreciate all the effort that they put in. I understand there were a lot of candidates and a lot of interviews that went on, and I had an opportunity to speak with some of the people on the panel, and it sounds like this was the candidate that was clearly stood out and was the most impressive and was able to address some of the issues that we care about most, including equity issues in terms of our public works and our transportation system.
Further discussion? I do want to thank council members Reich, Bender, and Palmisano for their participation in the selection, as well as the staff from the city and other folks who participated. It was invaluable to get people's input on the candidates that they did put forward for my consideration, and I appreciate it. Seeing no further discussion, there is a motion before us to consider the appointment and set the public hearing. All in approval, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That passes. Thank you very much. Seeing no further business before the committee, we are adjourned.